Well, they've been called the most destructive landscape pest in America. The Japanese beetle was first found in the country in 1916, and it's been in our area since about the 90s. It's found all across Iowa and Illinois, and it's known to be so destructive because it damages plants in both the larval and adult stages. And it's a problem for both homeowners and for farmers as well. Now, adult Japanese beetles emerge in mid-June through July, and they can be found right now throughout the QCA. So joining us now to talk about this is Virgil Schmitt, Extension Field Agronomist for Iowa State University Extension and Outreach. Virgil, thanks so much for being here with us.
It is always my pleasure.
All right, just how destructive are these beetles?
Well, the good news is that a healthy plant they won't kill, but from an aesthetic standpoint in the landscape, they can basically skeletonize the leaves, which basically means that the materials between the veins gets consumed, but the veins are still there. The leaves will typically then turn brown and oftentimes drop off. And of course, from an aesthetic standpoint, that's a real issue. They can eat flowers. They can eat the fruits of some of our plants. And so they can be a real issue that way. And from a farmer perspective, they can negatively impact crop production, which obviously is profits, which with the markets the way they are going to be pretty thin this year anyhow.
Yeah, I was reading online they like to eat, it's like 300 different varieties of trees and plants. So they're not picky, but they're also kind of hard to spot because don't they look like June bugs?
They do look very much like June bugs. In fact, they're in the same family. The thing that people need to be looking at is the coloration and also some tufts of hair. The coloration, basically, the head and the thorax will be a shiny green. The wing covers will be kind of a coppery red color, so they're fairly colorful beetle. And the other thing is, if you look on each side of the abdomen, there'll be five tufts of white hairs that stick down, and those tufts of hairs are the ones that really give it away.
So besides what the beetles themselves look like, I mean, let's talk about homeowners that have trees and shrubs, backyard gardens. What signs should they be on the lookout for?
Well, the big thing, as I mentioned earlier, is the skeletonized leaves. The Japanese beetles, one of the major things they do is eat. And so typically what you're going to do is you're going to find them at the tops of the plants, where, of course, the leaves are most visible, and they're going to be chewing away there. And that's probably the big thing that people are going to notice.
So is there any way to treat the damage they leave behind?
Treating the damage, no. It's basically prevention. You can, number one, you can simply tolerate and say that's the way it is. If it's a small area, just a few plants, you can hand pick them off. There are some insecticide sprays, such as 7, that can be used about once every 10 days. That will do a nice job. If it rains a lot, the insecticides will have to go on more frequently. And then there is plant selection is also something that people can do. Just as you said, there are 300 plants that they do like. There are also several plants that they don't like. Probably the big thing that is very attractive to people is to go to some of the big box stores and buy Japanese beetle traps. And they do a great job of attracting and catching beetles. The problem is that they attract more beetles than they catch. And so you're actually going to get more damage close to the traps than you will further away from them. There's kind of a running joke between many of us that what you want to do is buy the traps and give them to your neighbors so that they end up with all the Japanese beetles and you don't have as many.
Well, Virgil, it's always a pleasure to talk to you and your wealth of knowledge, and I promise to my neighbors watching, I'm not going to go out and buy any traps. Virgil, thank you so
Okay,
much
very
for being
good.
here with us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
And hey, for you guys at home, don't forget, tomorrow morning, you can have your plants and garden questions answered with our local expert, Craig Hignite. I know he's been talking about Japanese beetles as well. That's coming up tomorrow during GMQC at 11.